Look, I see mansions in the kingdom. I see hunters slaying demons. I see fire on this earth coming down like Hiroshima. I see prophets rising up, prophesying scriptures cut. I see Christ, he coming back. Man, he black, he look like us. I see it, 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 I see it.
Not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ, bless everybody. This camera's kind of funny, no? All right, it's fine. Hey, real quick, welcome to Precept Upon Precept on this Thursday night, the late show. We are your host. My name is Captain Shem.
Officer Matthew.
Officer Micah.
Officer Erin.
All praise to the Most High. Let's get right into, before we get to our thumbnail tonight's show, we're going to start. Remember, tonight's a new format. We're continuing, of course, with Watchman Report with Officer Micah. We go to commercial break. After we come back with Kingdom Music, which we had last year with Officer Matt. Bringing that back in the last section will be a motivational section with myself to motivate people who are overweight to stop being overweight. All praise to the Most High. So with that, we're going to take it right away to the Watchman Report with Officer Micah for the local news.
Hey, shalom, shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Don't want to hold up the show. Let's get right into it. Storm relentless as California drenching goes on. So let's keep our family out there in Cali in our prayers. They're getting hit pretty bad with some storms out there. It's flooding and everything. Next article, please. This is what madness looks like. Russians unleash massive assaults on Solner in eastern Ukraine. So war is going on in Ukraine. They fighting, y'all. Next article. A Romanian court upholds Andrew Tate's arrest on human trafficking charges. So they coming after this brother, man. All right, next article. Last but not least. 14-year-old girl shot in the head several times after she reportedly broke up with her boyfriend. Hey, keep your daughters in straight, man. These dudes out here ain't right. Flee you for lust. With that, transition back to our host, Captain Shem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All praise to the Most High. Let's take it right to the thumbnail tonight's show. It's going to be quick. We're covering basically, let me sit up straight and my posture, better posture. Real quick, and let's just focus on the words. TMH is the acronym. A lot of times we don't realize this. The Most High destroys with H2O. And I like that, while Esau'S technologies wage war. So what we're going to go into tonight is these things called atmospheric rivers and how the Lord is causing crazy droughts at the same time he is flooding the earth. That's the power of the Most High. While at the same time, Esau is using drone swarm technology to fight right now in the Ukraine-Russia war. So let's get into the show. Let's start first with I'm going to jump. Can you get me the video? It's 346. It was sent with one of the captains. It is a video. I believe it's a Telegram downloaded video. Shout out to the captain, Tazawan. He posted this very early in the week, and it is powerful. This is kind of what led me to the show. And then, actually, before we do that, get me the book of Ecclesiasticus Sirach. And you might say, well, you know, why go over these things? And we should go over because we need to understand that these things are important. Give me Sirach chapter, I just had it written, 5 and verse 15. Sirach 5 and verse 15. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, which is the Bible.
The book of Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 15.
Come on.
Be not ignorant of anything.
Read it again.
Be not ignorant of anything.
A lot of you might say, well, why, we know it's of God. Why is the flooding in Central California, Northern California, why is this going on, right? You may say, well, we know God's behind everything, but we need to know a little bit more about that. Read on.
Be not ignorant of anything, in a great matter or small.
The reason why the droughts are going on, the reason why there's major flooding that's going on, the reason why the Ukraine is actually able to fight the number 2 military, we're going to look into it tonight. These are great matters, all right? And we don't want to be ignorant. We know everything's of the Lord, but we're going to look into it. So let's get that video, all right? It's 3 minutes.
Kids probably have one of these.
Let me do a disclaimer. We're going to let the whole thing play, and I'm not going to talk. A lot of you, we're going to play this whole thing, you're going to say that this is probably not real, okay? So we'll talk about it. We're going to watch the whole video, and then we'll come back and we'll give a little bit of commentary. Go ahead and play.
Right? Not quite. Hell of a pilot? No. That skill is all AI. It's flying itself. Its processor can react 100 times faster than a human. The stochastic motion is an anti-sniper feature. Just like any mobile device these days, it has cameras and sensors, and just like your phones and social media apps, it does facial recognition. Inside here is 3 grams of shaped explosive. This is how it works. Did you see that? That little bang is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the contents. Now trust me, these were all bad guys. Now that is an airstrike of surgical precision. It's one of a range of products. Trained as a team, they can penetrate buildings, cars, trains, evade people, bullets, pretty much any countermeasure. They cannot be stopped. Now, I said this was big. Why? Because we are thinking big. Watch. $25 million order now buys this. Enough to kill half a city. The bad half. Nuclear is obsolete. Take out your entire enemy, virtually risk-free. Just characterize him, release the swarm, and rest easy.
This short film is more than just speculation. It shows the...
This was a replication of things that are really here. And we want to prove that it really is going on right now. It just came to me. I didn't send it. Type in drone strikes kills number 2 Al-Qaeda leader. It happened in 2021. It just came to me. I don't know why they posted. This technology is here right now. Yes, this was a short film, and obviously they're never going to send it into a college classroom filled with white people and hurt them. So that's why we know that part is not true. But they're using it now, and we have some articles and some videos to get into. If you can find the Al-Qaeda, the number, I don't know the guy's name. I can't pronounce it. No, type in. I should have sent it to you. Officer Matt, you about to say something.
It's widely quoted and said that if they put technology in a movie, that they've already had it for at least 10 years. Those drones, that size, have been around for quite some time.
I'm going to send it to you. It's a 1 minute and 30. It happened. Drone kills Al-Qaeda top leader. Let me see something. Okay. 258. Let me see if I can get it to you. All right. So I'm sending it's ABC News. I hope there's no issue. And I'm sending it to Preceptuponprecept now. And then you can see if you can play. I have to get this because you might say, well, that's not true. While we do that, get me the article. Get me the article about swarm drones. It is, oh gosh.
Hey, and this should be a wake-up call to the Negroes that's out there to say they want to get guns and go against the establishment. I said it once before. They got weapons that make bullets obsolete. They don't need bullets to kill you no more. Y'all gonna be running around with Dracos, 45s, and 9mm, and they just gonna send a drone to you and take you out. Period.
If you can't find, do me a favor. Get me. All right, go to the New American Suicide Drone. That's YouTube. It's called Switchblade. You want me to forward it? Okay. Pull that, and then if you can find the number 2, I sent that to you. So I'm going to give examples of the U.S. military using this technology. It really is here. It's been here probably since the brothers in this room were in Afghanistan. They had smaller raids with this, not quite as technologically advanced as now. Do you have that? All right, let's go ahead and play that. So we want the first.
Warfare is evolving along.
I did stamp it for y'all. Okay, so we want to go the first. Exactly, and then we're gonna jump. There's 2 variants. There's a T300. There's a Suicide 300 and Suicide 600. So now we're getting a little bit of history. The first 2 minutes, we're gonna let it play, and we're gonna come back. So this is about drone technology and the evolution. Play.
Alongside technology. In every century, new tactics and weapons have advanced warfare into almost a technological arms race. Wars were fought by hand, then by swords, guns, tanks, aircrafts, and the newest form of technological warfare is by drones. Drones have become a symbol of 21st century warfare, and it's gaining popularity among developed countries involved in conflict. They have become powerful tools of destruction because of its ability to be a localized, undetected, and miniature weaponized aircraft. They're so appealing to militarized governments around the world because they can be remotely controlled and lessen the risk of losing life. That is, to the country who operates it. The best part is your target will not see it coming, and by the time they realize what's happening, it's too late. Warfare technology has evolved, and drones are the new weapons of choice. All you need is a remote control, a target, and a plan, and you could tilt the war into your favor. The war between Russia and Ukraine is one of the best examples of drone warfare. Russia has boasted the second most powerful military in the world behind the United States. For reference, Ukraine is ranked about 30th in military worldwide, depending on which sources you listen to. Yet, Russia's takeover of the neighboring country of Ukraine has somewhat been a surprise. Everyone thought it would be a quick and dominating takeover, but because of Ukraine's ties to NATO countries and the use of drones.
Right there. So what we want to show you is that the technology of the drones is changing the war. Because the United States and these other NATO countries, obviously we understand what this whole thing is about. In 1990, breaking of all the agreements they had with the Soviet after the Soviet fall. Anyways, they said Russia's the number 2 military. Ukraine is number 30. But they're actually holding Russia down because NATO is supplying them with warfare, Patriot missiles, and the secret weapon is the advanced drones. Okay? So I just wanted to share that. Now, give me the scripture, Genesis chapter 27. And everything that we read about in the beginning of the video, it says the evolution is started with, it was by hand, then it said by sword, then it said by gun, tank, plane, and drone. All of the leading warfare advancement has been by the so-called white man. And here's the scripture to back it up. Genesis chapter 27. Hang on a second. This doggone face ID. Genesis chapter 27. Start at, I don't think it's verse 4. Is it? Start at 39. 39 and 40.
The book of Genesis, chapter 39 and chapter 27, verse 39.
Thank you.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
And that's why he's got military bases in every part of this earth. Read on.
Of the dew of the heaven from above.
Come on.
And by the sword shall thy live.
Because during that time, the sword represented war. But the evolution of warfare has come to the point where it's tanks, planes, and now we're at advanced swarm drone warfare. And Esau, the so-called white man, is leading all of that. These other technology countries, China, Pakistan, India, Russia, they're all trying to follow the so-called white man in America. He's the one that has that. Read on.
And by the sword shall thy live.
That's how we fight. How do you think he got Alaska? How do you think he got Hawaii? How do you think they got all these different places, these bases in doggone Australia, the island hopping, Korea? They have Japan because they conquered, they destroyed, and they set up bases. Okay, read on.
And shall serve thy brother.
Right. Okay, now go back to that. I think I want you to go to, is it 4, 5? Yes, please. Now we're going to show you an example. It's called a switchblade drone. Check this out.
One of these drones is pretty unique and can be set up in a matter of less than 5 minutes. There's a tube that is set up like a little mortar on the ground. Using the ground control system, the operator or soldier can launch it. The drone then swoops away from the tube and its wings open and heads toward the designated target, all controlled by the operator on the ground. There's a propeller that spins up, and it starts flying
quick,
in the...
Just to put it in perspective, some of us have not been in the military, some of us has. So if you send, let's say, recon in or even infantry soldiers in, and they have Alice packs on, which is backpacks, they go in, 40 of them, and these 300s weigh 5 pounds apiece. You could say each soldier can carry, let's say, 2 of them. So you could go in there with 15 men. Well, you actually we could probably operate 2. 15 men, and if you had 30 drones, you could send 2 waves of 15 drones in and not lose any human lives. That could be done with no tanks, no airplanes, just sending men in. They could jump out of parachutes, set things up, and deploy this technology. It's shot like a mortar. It just almost like a bazooka that's a mortar round. They shoot it up. They step back, they can go into a place that's discreet, and they can remote control it. The amazing thing about it is that a lot of us, we're not really aware. That's why we read the scriptures. We can't be ignorant. How is the Ukraine actually holding Russia back right now? Because the U.S. and NATO is run by the U.S., is supplying this type of warfare. They control war with technology. Esau is controlling it.
And the thing about those mortar rounds, like the old mortar rounds, they had to do it by clicks. So they had to know a little bit about trajectory. You call that trigonometry. Mm-hmm. They had to know a little bit about that because they have to walk it in because they don't have control. A regular mortar round, they don't have control of where it lands. They just kind of have to put it in, it shoots off, and then depending on the trajectory of it, they can hit their mark or not. With this, you can hit your mark no matter where you shoot it off at.
Yeah, because the way it used to work, like you had 5 lines to call for fire. And you had 11 Charlie. He was the guy that you tell him, hey, look, this is Hammerhead 6 requesting a fire mission. You tell him you agree. You tell him H. The first 5 lines, and then you hear splash out, and then here comes the heat. Now with that, the 11 Charlie, he just puts the plane in there, and he can fly it, looking at his little smart device, and just blow it whatever you want to blow up, so you don't have to have a guy forward anymore.
Right, and that's exactly right. It changes For example, like in the Marine Corps, there's an order. The order is mission accomplishment first, troop welfare is second. Now you limit the loss of friendly fire and casualties of war because men don't have to die. And it weighs less than 5 pounds. You can hump it in on the backpack. This is what Esau thinks about these things. This is how you know that scripture's true. He would rule by the sword. Every warfare Esau's involved in is controlling everything. The white man in America is giving the technology to beat the number 2 military in the earth, is beating at some fronts Russia, which is a powerful military, right? So,
hey, Cap,
yes.
The trip part is, before they even get to the military to do that, they're practicing already.
Absolutely.
They're playing modern warfare.
Yep.
They're playing those shooting video games. They're playing all of these different war-type video games, and it's exactly what you're doing over there in your job in the military now. So you're looking at a screen at home and you're killing people. Now you're in the military and you're looking at a screen and you're killing people. You're practicing as a teenager, and by the time you get in the military, you're already damn near expert.
Also, to your point, each generation they wax weaker and weaker. Like these little wieners that sit around and play these video games, right? When I was in 82nd, and I used to watch these dudes like jump these base plates. Some damn things weigh about 25 pounds. That whole mortar system is it's close to 100 pounds. So you got a little nerdy guy at home playing video games. He ain't built to jump out of the plane with that 89-pound system. Give him this 5-pound one and, hey, go jump out and go blow somebody up.
Technology is going to make men weaker. I was amazed to hear that in some military boot camps, they have a card called the stress card. And when it gets too stressful, you hold it up to the drill instructor and he has to stop, which I thought it was a joke when I first heard it. But the point is that would never happen. I know the guys that trained before we came in, they didn't have air conditioning. So they had in bivouacs, and we had AC. So it gets worse and worse. And nowadays they have, they got to be co-ed boot camps, that's the wrong thing to have co-ed training and stress cards. But technology gets stronger and better. So now you can have someone who can't do 15 push-ups and can wipe out a doggone target 6 miles in country without losing a life. So Esau is living by the sword, and the Bible's a true book. And everybody wants to be like Esau with his technology. All right, now, let's play on, because I want the next part, tech team, it's going to talk about the first drone in its distance and its capability, flight speed. Again, we're not worried about all this, but we don't want to be ignorant of the fact that what's going on behind the scenes, all right?
Direction the operator wants it to. Additionally, the drone is equipped with live streaming, which gives the operator a view on the screen in the middle of that hand control unit. When the threat is identified, the drone can actually just hover over the target, waiting for the perfect time to strike. As soon as the target is stabilized and in position, the drone flies to the target and self-detonates for destruction.
So real quick, and they got this idea when you read about, Bishop talked about it, and over the years, the one of the turning points, the reason why they had to drop the atomic bomb is because when you're fighting an enemy that uses kamikaze self-detonation where you're not afraid to die, how do you take the will of the enemy? You got to just kill tens of thousands of them. That's why they dropped the atomic bomb, the Nagasaki and Hiroshima. So this is called a suicide drone because it'll self-detonate, accomplish the mission. And if it doesn't find the target, it actually can come back, or it can be rerouted, hover, reroute, and then get his next set of orders to go forth. This is a 5-pound, this is the T300, and we're going to see the T600, or the Suicide 300, Suicide 600. We have to understand that Officer Matt said perfectly. You talking about you got a Glock? You talking about you have different minor weaponry?
They got choppers, Cap.
They got choppers, right? And I don't even know what that means. It just sounds like AK, all of that. But this guy has a weapon that can wait above your head. You can't see or hear it coming, and then when he decides, he can let it hit you. So we are the foolish things of this world. We are the lowly things. But our God has given Esau this power, okay, and he's going to wage wars and all of that. We got to keep these commandments, but we got to see what's going on. We can't be ignorant of this stuff. So play on, please, tech team.
Switchblade drones are often regarded as loitering munition. Essentially, the drones are just waiting above the battlefield, scouting for the perfect opportunity to strike. Switchblade kamikaze drones have two models. To understand how they're affecting the Ukraine-Russia war, let's take a deep dive into how these small but powerful military weapons work. First, they come in two sizes. 300 model. The Switchblade 300 model weighs about
real quick. So, and we got other stuff to get to. This, again, it weighs 5 pounds. It has a range of 6 miles. Okay, so you can, what does it say? Thank you. 6 minutes. So it can fly for 6 minutes before it either has to self-detonate or come back. But that's the flight time. You can do a lot of damage in that time. And is there any more stats on that? Play on.
5 pounds and can fly up to 6 miles or 15 minutes nonstop. Though they don't travel a long distance, they are designed to be carried in a backpack, assisting small infantry units tracking the Russians' movements. The cruising speed can reach up to 63 miles per hour.
Now check that out.
And can even reach a
speed. That means, like, if you put something in cruise control, it's 63, but this thing can go 100 miles an hour top speed. So now you have something that can hover like a hummingbird, go 6 miles, and actually it's not 6 minutes, it's 6 miles in 15 minutes. We misspoke earlier. And this thing can self-detonate, and if it doesn't get its target, it can wait for the operator to find another target while it waits in the air. This right here, this technology is here right now. And this is just one drone. So what happens if you had 100 of these fly out with 100 operators? And this is what that short film was talking about. They already have that here. They already have the technology. I don't know if y'all remember. If you could find it, tech team. If not, don't worry about it. Where they flew a fly. I challenged it. They flew a fly in, and it was a president kept swatting it. And he thought it was just a fly. No, they were showing the technology that they had. Can we find that? I don't even know. If you can't, don't sweat it. My point is that the technology is here to do very, very detail-oriented things, all right? If you can find it, if not, don't worry. Let's play on. We're going to go to the Switchblade 6. Just keep playing. It's going to come on to the next, the bigger drone.
The Switchblade 300 model carries cameras, guidance systems, and explosives to destroy targets on sight. They are remote controlled by a trained soldier, and unlike most weapons, the Switchblade can also disengage or abort a mission at any time, and then recommit to another target depending on what the operator commands. Using real-time GPS coordinates and video, kamikaze drones can precisely lock in on their target to minimize any other collateral damage, such as civilians or other unnecessary damages. These drones are meant to target military personnel and soldiers on foot. Just 10 years ago, this was something straight out of a video game,
Now,
such as Call of Duty.
My point is that movie that they made, that short film, he's saying 10 years ago, so that puts us back to 2012. So 10 years ago, the technology was used in warfare or in whatever the death missions that the U.S. was working, and now they're showing you an example of that. So again, when you see this technology and they talk about it, they've had it. They've already had it. They just didn't let the public know that they were using this stuff at that time, but play on.
Modern warfare on Xbox. Now, video games have turned into reality, and these drones exist.
Real quick, Officer Map, you just said that. They're saying video games have turned into a reality. And that's why you get guys that are these kids that grow up in 12, 13, and then they get 18 and they go out and they start shooting schools up. They start because they can't disassociate themselves from the virtual reality that's in the video game to real life. And guess what? Esau has a way for them, has an outlet now. It's called drone warfare, kamikaze switchblade drones. It's here. It's happening right now. Yes. Oh, you got that? Is there a disclaimer on that one? So when y'all watch this, right? Because I literally was calling BS. Yeah, right. Watch this, y'all. This, and real quick, Gabe, Akiem, I want you to, after this, I want you to transition to the cyber attack. Because remember when the pipeline got attacked, right? I said to myself, how is it that there, with all these layers of firewalls and security, I said, how could they be doing this? But then I thought about it. But what if they were sending drones in, super small, they call it nanotechnology. What if they were actually physically doing stuff and not going through the internet? And so this is where you got to understand, you're going to see a lot of things change in this country. And it's already happening. And they had to play that ransom to get that thing going again. Play that fly thing, and then if you can get the, I didn't even tell you which one it was. It was, yes. Okay. When you get a chance, play the fly. Now pause real quick. So this is amazing. Listen, Esau's the damn Esau's is deep, bro. This is a mosquito drone, and if we did not look how small this is, look at the technology that they have. Look how real it looks. There's a camera and a microphone on something that's that. Look at his fingerprints. Look how small that's fingerprints he's around.
Cap, there's a syringe at the nose of it. So it doesn't have to come up to you and blow you up. It could poke you with something. You think it's a mosquito bite. 3 days later, you die of a heart attack. You go into cardiac arrest.
And it's funny how a lot of these black leaders and other brothers are having aneurysms when they're in perfect health. Well, if they're, or they could call the aneurysm or heart attack. This is why we have to trust in the Most High, because with this technology, with swarm drone technology, with kamikaze drones, with the stuff that they're doing with the water in Jackson and Flint, Michigan, Jackson, Mississippi, we have everything is stacked against our people. And the man that put us in slavery, he's the one that's behind inventing evil inventions. Who the hell thinks to create a mosquito drone with a syringe? Let's just think about the mind. Go ahead and play that, please. Now, these are nano drones. What we were looking at, the kamikaze, the switchblade drones, they're like 5 pounds, and the other one's 25 pounds. They're a little bit bigger. Now, this is what they call, I didn't even have this planned for the show. This is a nano drone. This is the type of weaponry. If you had somebody that was on the inside, it was undetectable, that could fly these things, you could have somebody that was behind closed doors that has been born in this country. He gets orders from someone else, and he's flying nano drones in a doggone computer factory or in a pipeline. We got to understand that Esau is, when they say he's good, they're gonna all come and turn to Esau. It's not gonna be all turning rocket launchers and tanks. They're gonna turn on Esau with technological warfare. All right, play on. I don't know if y'all could see at home because I just missed it myself. that is a coin, which is a quarter. So let's just think about if you take out a quarter, which a quarter is, it's the biggest, one of the biggest coin besides a $50. But that nanodrone, the body of that is only about a quarter section. If you look, if it's vertical of that, the wings are a little bit wider than that. But look how small the body of that is, and that is flown by an operator. Think about that.
Hey, think about it. When you hear those wings and you see how big it is, your first response is to run away from it because you ain't trying to see what kind of bug that is. You don't even notice that it's a piece of metal with wings attached to it. Yeah, at first glance, you just thinking it's something big with wings, and you ain't trying to mess with it. Little do you know that it's a literal weapon.
You got to understand. That's why we have to trust in the Lord with all our heart, man. Our enemies have great inventions of evil and warfare that we can't overcome. But our God is mightier than everything that he creates. Play on. So we can pause right there. I just want us to see that the technology is there and it's been used and it will be continue to be used for these wars. Get me that cyber attack if you can, and then it's already 10:20 already. We're about to switch it up in a minute. I had a couple other really good videos of movies, but we do not want to get a hit. If you get a chance, y'all, go watch the trailer of a movie called The Humanity Bureau. And then also, a lot of us have seen the movie with Morgan Freeman. It's called Angel Has Fallen. There's a drone attack scene. Remember when he knocks the president in the water? That was back then. We're like, no way, that was real. That technology is here right now. That movie was from 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago. I wanted to play that because it was a perfect depiction of swarm drone warfare. But play this here.
And for more on the larger threat of cyber and ransomware attacks, we bring in ABC News contributor Elizabeth Newman, a former Assistant Secretary of Homeland Security during the Trump administration. Elizabeth, thanks so much for joining us. This was a major attack on America's key infrastructure for sure, but it's also not an isolated case. Give us a sense of just how common these types of cyber attacks are here in the U.S. and also around the world.
That's right, Lindsay. It is pretty common to have cyber attacks, particularly on critical infrastructure. We've seen an increase.
It just brought me back. You remember we did shows before about they're having all these fires in the middle of these factories, and they don't know how the fires were caused. But if you have an opening the size of a quarter and you work there, you could send a nanodrome in to cause a whole lot of problems. So this is why there's a lot more than what and I'm not saying that's what it was, but the technology is there to infiltrate areas where you have key computer structures. If something comes in this small and they do damage to a server room, and they make you think, oh, they're hacking us online. How do you know that they're not sending nanodromes in and destroying major server systems? The technology is here, and I'm telling you, Esau is trying to play God. Who the hell makes a drone like a bug? He trying to play like God. Matter of fact, give me Ezekiel chapter 28. He plays like he's God. Ezekiel 28, verse 1.
The book of Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 1.
Come on.
The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying,
Yep.
Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus,
Yep.
Thus saith the Lord God.
Now, Ezekiel's is in the spirit, the prince of Tyrus here is talking about Esau, the so-called white man. And you can precept that when you go to the book of Isaiah, when he talks, Isaiah 14, it talks about how, I'm not going to get into that right now, but you can cross-reference or precept it with Isaiah 14. But watch this, read on.
Because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God.
Right. Remember in Obadiah, who shall bring me down? Right? Read on.
I sit in the seat of God.
So this is the white man. Why? Because he controls economies. He controls religion. He paints himself as God. He paints himself as Christ. He said, I sit in the seat of God. And he does stuff like that. Make a drone this big that look like a damn bug. Read on.
I sit in the seat of God.
Yep.
In the midst of the seas.
Yep, the midst of the seas is talking about all these kingdoms. He's everywhere. Germany, Korea, Afghanistan, everywhere you can name it, he got bases and military bases. Read on.
Yet thou art a man and not God.
That's so it's talking about the so-called white man. But watch this. This is the part I'm going to get to. Read on.
Though thou set thine heart as the heart of God,
right.
Behold,
Behold,
thou art wiser than Daniel.
And here's the point. For God gave Satan reign when you go back to Genesis about, remember it was Cain and Abel. Esau was reborn as Esau was, let me get this right. Cain was reborn as Esau, the spirit of Satan. Bishops taught many classes about that. Here's the thing. In Genesis 27, he would rule by the sword. This is talking about the white. This is how we know that we're living in the last days, and we know the white man's behind us, and we know who he is. Just from this alone. Read on.
There is no secret that they can hide from thee.
You see that? He figured everything out. Esau will go into an ant mound and dissect it and look at how the ants work together and form technology. How would you, think about it, how would you build a drone of a mosquito unless you studied a mosquito? I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but let's think about that and make it actually fly and be effective. This is that man. Read on.
With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten the riches.
Right. And who gave him that? He was given the blessing from the time of Jacob. He was blessed the fatness of the earth, like to do wherever he would go, and he would rule by the sword. The sword now is the drone. Yes, at first he ruled with a Gatling gun. He ruled with tanks, machine guns. He ruled with, when you read about air superiority, how World War I, it changed to World War II. Then tanks came about. Then you had all the different aircraft carriers and now nuclear weaponry, atomic bombs, and now it's these suicide drones, these kamikaze drones. And guess what? They're going to have drones that can lance strategical nuclear attacks. That's here too, and that's coming. Pause that. I'm going to change gears, but go back to the video with, I want the T600, because the T600 has a much longer, and I'm going.
And Kat, while you on the subject, if y'all look it up, there's these things called nanobots. They actually got these nanobots that's the size of a microorganism that delivers drugs to cells. They shoot it into a syringe, and they deliver drugs to the cancer cells to help treat cancer. So if they can deliver nanobots through a syringe, imagine what they can put in the water, the food, etc. So that's just, something to think about.
Right. You just dropped it. Listen, see if you can get, because I heard about that. I want to see if we can pull something out on that. You can get that a little bit later on if you can, because Iran just dropped something real, real heavy, and I want to put a visual on it because we black and we need to see stuff. I need to see it. Right, but see if you can go back to the video. I know I'm throwing a lot at you. So, and then we're going to switch gears real quick. We're not going to be ignorant of any small or great thing. This is what's going on in modern warfare right now. Swarm drone, kamikaze technology. We read about the 300 that had a range of 5 miles, 15-minute flight time, 103 top speed, 63 cruising speed. It could hover over target, change targets. You can hump it in, and it weighs 5 pounds. Now, here's something that's a little bit more powerful. This is the second model. We have to go ahead.
The operator wants it to. Additionally, the drone is equipped with live streaming, which gives the operator a view on the screen in the middle of that hand control unit. When the threat is identified, the drone can actually just hover over the target, waiting for the perfect time to strike. As soon as the target is stabilized and in position, the drone flies to the target and self-detonates for destruction. These switchblade drones are often regarded as loitering munition. Essentially, the drones are just waiting above the battlefield, scouting for the perfect opportunity to strike. Switchblade kamikaze drones have two models. To understand how they're affecting the Ukraine-Russia war, let's take a deep dive into how these small but powerful military weapons work.
I mean, the Kamikaze 300. If we can, it might be 6 minutes and 30 seconds. If you scroll right through it, when you see the 600, we could stop there because we got a whole nother section. And we're going to move on because we got to take our commercial break and come back with Kingdom Music. Now, there we go. So we're going to stop right here. So leave the screenshot. So these they weigh more. So, but a competent, strong soldier could easily hump that in, even with his weapon in his pack, 50 pounds. The range is 25 miles. The flight time is 40 minutes, okay? And the speed is 115. So now you just literally, it weighs more. The range was quadrupled and then more than quadrupled. The flight time was almost tripled and the speed went up at least maybe 10-something miles an hour. So the technology, and look at it. It looks like what they call them, an RPG. What do they call that, little bazookas? What do y'all call them now?
That's the mortar tube? That's a mortar tube.
Mortar tube. So you can have that in a sling around you and, like you said, hump it in. So
that's faster than every car that people drive.
Right. Yes. 100. Look, we got to understand that the operator is out of harm's way because remember, it's got a range of 25 miles. So they can be I don't know about in the rear, but definitely not in the front line. And they're able to manipulate and fly and hover because it has cameras in it that they can see. Obviously not going to go during a rainstorm, but the power that they have and the advancement technology is changing the way wars are fought. So we, as Israelites, need to understand, we cannot be ignorant of these. We need to understand what's going on and understand that without God, we have no hope against this man. We just read in Ezekiel 28. He's wiser than Daniel. He figures out there's no secret is hid from this guy, all right? So now, get the microtechnology. Then we got to roll to commercial break, and then we're coming back with Kingdom Music, all right?
And while he pulling that one up, they also got some ones that's microtechnology, microbots that's activated through lasers. So once again, they can put stuff out there and just be waiting on the right time to activate it. Go ahead, play the video.
Chemotherapy successfully treats many forms of cancer, but the side effects can wreak havoc on the rest of the body. Delivering drugs directly to cancer cells could help reduce these unpleasant symptoms. Now, in a proof-of-concept study, researchers reporting in ACS Nano have made fish-shaped micro-robots that are guided with magnets to cancer cells in a petri.
I was about to scream at this brother because I really thought, I had heard of it, but I really thought Iran was throwing us a crock of BS out there. He's not. Look at this. This is the inside. That's plasma, which you see going through it's either the artery is the main tube, and then you've got veins that are shooting off. That's a micro. Go ahead, Iran. You was go ahead.
It was one of the Mission Impossibles. They had they injected them with something. If you didn't make it to where you needed to make it to, like it would pop and you had like a brain aneurysm or something. That's why how these people probably how they dropping dead over there. They showing it for cancer purposes. So you got to think if they got that, the saggy pants Negro with the AR-15 running around holding his bridges up in the front, them little skinny pants on. Lord help us. He don't stand a chance in hell. No.
He don't at all. Just my mic was muted, but y'all can't see that with the naked eye. And like I said, you wonder why blacks are always suffering from. Of course, we know we eat wrong, but our people suffer from a lot of sickness, and all they got to do, they target. We stay in the same city that Esau stay in, but why is it our community that's getting affected with these sicknesses? Yes, the curses, or two, they could be putting stuff in our water and directed to these communities. You know what I'm saying? Food trucks. No, you don't drop off in this area. You drop off in this area. You know what I'm saying? So y'all just keep that in mind, man.
That technology is actually here. So if they can use it for purposes of healing cancer, they can damn sure use it for purposes of killing people that don't go on with their agenda. Like a lot of these leaders conveniently die of these sudden medical conditions. So that being said, look, we are going to, after the break, we're going to the Kingdom Music. We're going to come right back, and we're going to talk about atmospheric rivers in the Most High, how he's playing with these droughts. It's amazing. So with that, we're going to roll to commercial break for IUIC public announcements.
You're fed up with the Hebrews.
Yeah.
They came to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
After Kyrie was banned. And they stood outside. It was probably like 200-300 of them.
What they do? They stood there?
From that video, yeah.
Yeah. They wasted everybody's time, including Neil. They talk that Hebrew, we this, we that. Show us, nigga. Stop making movies. Stop sounding poetic and intelligent.
Second Ezra chapter 7, verse 57. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle.
See that? This is the condition of, y'all see those two words? The battle. This, y'all gotta see, this whole thing is a spiritual battle.
Joseph.
Yo, we go the distance, across the waters, teach our people, this is a mission. 12 tribes worldwide, this is redemption. Yeah, this is redemption. This is redemption. We go the distance, across the waters, teach our people, this is a mission. 12 tribes. Yo, we go the distance, across the waters, teach our people, this is a mission. 12 tribes worldwide, this is redemption.
Hey, shalom, Israel, Most High Christ bless. Hey, we getting Kingdom Music kick-started back up, all praise to the Most High. If y'all have not gotten the John 539 album by Sons of Thunder, you sleep. My mic off? If you ain't got the John 539 album, you sleep. All right? Captain Zion on there. Hey, that Isaiah 51:20, if you ain't heard it. Don't listen to it while you're on the highway. All right? I was listening to it, and I was going 85, and all praise to the Most High that no police was around, because our damn show was speeding when Captain Ben Zion Park came on. But look, we're gonna play this video from off their album. You gotta go to the album. Go to originalroyalty.com, purchase it. All right, support righteous music. This other music that they got out here, turning our people into mindless zombies and over-sexualized, not even humans. All right, and that's what Esau want. Esau want us to be like that. But we rebuilding the mind spiritually with our music. All right, go ahead, play that video.
In Ephesians chapter 4, verse 3, The Lord said, endeavor to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. Let's hear it. Unity! 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 And we will not ever bow the knee or apologize. So at that, brothers, who's the king? Christ. Who's the king? Christ. Who's the king? Christ.
Yo, we go the distance, across the waters, teach our people, this is a mission. 12 tribes worldwide, this is redemption. Yeah, yeah, this is redemption. This is redemption. We go the distance, across the waters, teach our people, this is a mission. 12 tribes worldwide, this is redemption. Yeah, yeah, this is redemption. This is redemption. We on our way, Sierra Leone, I'm on a flight. How about the plane? What is you saying? Israel unite. Think it's a game, now we ain't playing, we here to fight. Can't run away, cause we've been called, this is our plight. Got the kingdom in sight. Pack on my Bible to build up disciples, the acts of the apostle, we back. Choosing the ministry over necessity, we got our people on track. Passport, nah, I need a new one, ain't got no more room to stamp. Exalt our voice, preach the kingdom till our lung collapse. I got so much to do, I got so much to prove. Taking my body, putting it under subjection, till eat them under my boot. They the target, cast it down, yeah. Angels got them in scope, raising up the 12 across the globe. Now your freedom revolt. We go the distance, across the waters, teach our people, this is a mission. 12 tribes worldwide, this is redemption. Yeah, yeah, this is redemption. This is redemption. We go the distance, across the waters, teach our people, this is a mission. 12 tribes worldwide, this is redemption. Yeah, yeah, this is redemption. This is redemption. We go the distance.
Prophets, come for the smoke, you get a forest fire. Preachers, you don't believe them, cause you know they liars. Process, you gotta trust it. Proverbs 3 and 5 them. Precepts, line upon line upon line upon line, and I give it the best of me every single time with the finesse. See that I'm blessed. I look at the heaters and see that they stress. Teaching you cap like Mitchell and Ness. You better adjust. Find a script like it got it addressed. This the house of the Israelites. God sign, not Gemini. Outcast, no equipment, not big boy with the words. 3,000 proverbs, the South got something to say. See the truth, 4K. Soap and no, it's not Olay. Watch it make you clean. God talking sound serene. Purge the gold and crown the kings. Ain't no beach, you know what this means.
We go the distance, across the waters, teach our people, this is a mission. 12 tribes worldwide, this is redemption. Yeah, yeah, this is redemption. This is redemption. We go the distance, across the waters, teach our people, this is a mission. 12 tribes worldwide, this is redemption. Yeah, yeah, this is redemption. This is redemption.
I told TV, yeah, you see me crossing waters, landing VP. We don't fear no plan to retreat. We cross land and sea to greet thee. We be in and out these cities, Jews on journeys, juking beatings, raised in the faith on time. We leasing landlord great, yeah, we ride on GP. We be in and out of traffic, then we gone. Government steady wondering what they did. Service, sealing service, what we own. Best believe the Father's head is here. Fear. Psalm 111 and 10, gotta pray cause the day draw near. When he raised from the grave and them slaves don't slave, but until that day, small victories here. Like, yeah, we did that, but we not done, yeah, we won't get back. In that day we gon' pop some, now we don't run. I die deep, not the one, gotta grind cause the time gon' come. When you feel your lie and he crack that sky, a lot of people gon' die when he block that sun. Christ said these heathens is nothing. Couldn't eat them on blast. I dare these demons to open fire hill. Hold up, D. Yeah, they all gon' see. Try to defy like pistons, I'm not missing. This my mission. Named the redemption, ain't playing no victory. Made me vicious.
Hey, go ahead, stop that, man. Look. Deke came with what y'all youngsters don't know is called flow. All right? You got to switch up the flow, and you understood the words that he said. All right? The video was fire. The album is hot. You know what I'm saying? I like to think that the video was fire because they was in New Orleans, and we had just finished setting New Orleans on fire with a fire blitz. Trust me, while we out doing these music videos, we doing the work too. All right? We had just came from teaching repentance on the street and then did a righteous music video. All right? This is what we do as Israelites. This is what we're supposed to do as the guys on this earth. We the example setters. You either follow it or you get left behind. All right, all praise to the Most High. This is Kingdom Music. See y'all next week.
No transition? Damn. Oh, it's our first week. Oh, it's supposed to be a transition now. Come back. Hey, all praise to the Most High. Hey, that video was fire. Hey, when we went out that day, we was in the rain. We was in the rain, and we just, Captain Galah and the deacon said, you know what, let's do it right here. We shut down a street in New Orleans. Just the traffic went around. It was too much power, and it was what you saw was just on the spot. It was beautiful. Glad to be a part of that thing. Look, we're going to jump right into the second part of the show, and that is the Most High is destroying with H2O, or the lack thereof. Let's start first with what is an atmospheric river? A lot of us have seen over the past 20, 22 years a lot of flooding in different parts of the earth. And you might say, well, it's just a rainstorm. There are things called atmospheric rivers, and it is what it says it is. Up in the atmosphere, there is so much water vapor, it's actually bigger than the largest river on the planet, which is the Amazon. And first I'm like, come on. But I had to look more into it. It's true. And the Lord's behind it all, right? And he uses that. So, all right. So pause real quick. So atmospheric rivers are tropical moisture evaporates and flows into the jet stream. The jet stream is far above Earth's surface. And what's happening is this tropical moisture, which is a lot of it's coming from South America, which is 40% of the world's rainforests are in South America. Huge, huge. Play on. For a visual. Okay, pause. We're going to get a much better explanation. I wanted you just to see visually that it's a water vapor that's coming from parts of the earth going up into the atmosphere or the jet stream and carrying that to other parts of the earth. Now, get the one, there's a white dude that really, Esau breaks it down, just like he broke down the mosquito drone. They search everything out. It's just, the next one, I don't have the name of the thing. Let me see. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you want you? Yes. Yes, it is in the sky.
And the crazy thing about it is, I talk to a lot of people, and especially about the times that's going on nowadays, and everybody in a conversation, they know, like, damn, like something is up, something ain't right. Like, yeah, these days everybody's saying that's like a trend now. Hey, yeah, these days, yeah, it's wild out here, man. It ain't making no sense. The spirit is registering that we are drawing nigh, closer and closer. We don't know when the time is gonna come, but we can just observe the times and see what's going on.
True indeed. So it's number 5. Number 5. And then after 5, just to give you some heads up, I want you to load 3, because we're gonna show you this river in the sky. We're gonna show you what happens when it touches down, as it carried by the jet. This is thorough. It's like a 6-minute video, but he breaks this down pretty. Go ahead and play that.
Thank you to 23andMe for supporting PBS Digital Studios. The Amazon rainforest covers 40% of South America, contains nearly 400 billion trees, and creates 1/5 of our planet's oxygen. The river basin feeding the mighty Amazon carries 1/5 of Earth's river water into the Atlantic Ocean every day. This water adds enough mass to the continent that it distorts the gravitational field over South America. But the river at the center of this is not the biggest river on Earth. There's one that's even bigger.
Pause.
But it's
so the largest river on Earth. When you think about largest rivers, we think about the Nile, we think about the Mississippi, we think about the Colorado, we think, of course, about the Amazon. And what they're saying is that there's a river that's in the atmosphere that has more water than the Amazon. Let me say it again. There's a river that you can't see in the jet stream or atmosphere that we can't see. Esau is wiser than Daniel. Watch how he break this down. Now, first of all, we know, give all praise to the Most High, because the Most High is the one who allowed this to happen. Esau just breaks it down and studies everything, okay? We don't want to be ignorant of why California is flooding. The whole streets is flooding. How is this happening? Play on.
Invisible, flying around in the sky. I promise I haven't lost my mind. Hey, smart people, Joe here. You can get a clear view of the Amazon basin on Google Earth, but you'd almost never get a clear view if you were actually in space. Compared to other parts of Earth, it's almost always obscured by clouds. And that's thanks to 400 billion geysers shooting water into the sky. Not geysers like those, trees. When pores on leaves open up during photosynthesis, plants also lose a lot of water. Like what happens when you suck on a straw. This evaporation pulls water from the roots to the tops of trees up to 60 meters off the ground. A large tree in the Amazon can release 1,000 liters of water into the atmosphere.
Stop. This is how Esau is. He is wiser than Daniel. Now, maybe they're wrong by a certain number of liters. Type in, now y'all remember when you came up, poor people understand this, that they used to have these things, 3 liters of soda. They stopped selling them. They had, everybody know what a 2 liter soda, right? Well, they have a 3 liter, which is super big thing of soda. If you multiply that by 30 times 3 is what? 90? Okay, so if you had 333 3 liters of soda and filled that with water, that's how much one tree releases up into the atmosphere, right? In the Amazon rainforest, there's 400 billion trees. And that's why from space, it looks like this cloud, because there's always water vapor that's coming up, right? The point is that the Most High is using the things that he created to jack up the whole earth right now. And Esau is figuring it out. And this is why why would you want to go to war with a man like this? He makes mosquito drones that could syringe you, and he figured out how Central California is flooding right now. This really think about it, Play on.
Every day. Altogether, trees in the Amazon basin release 20 billion tons of water, or 20 trillion liters.
My Bishop Yawasop on. Is it 20? Okay, 1 ton is 2,000 pounds of water. So if you multiply 20 billion times 2,000, that's the number of pounds of water that's being released every day.
That goes into like the quintillions, I think it is. Numbers that you can't even, calculators won't even have that.
Here's the point. I'm trying to think of brothers I grew up with, people, any one of them would ever want to even try to figure this out. Right. Like, this is not our spirit. This is how, my point is that the man that creates a drone that can fly in and fly up your nose and send, like Obsidian saying, something in your vein that could detonate or heal cancer. And he figured out the reason why this is, we got to know more. We got to know more. It's just very interesting. Play on.
It's enough to fill 8 million Olympic swimming pools, which I'm pretty sure you can't really picture, but it's true. Boiling that amount of water would require the energy from more than 30,000 hydroelectric power plants like China's Three Gorges Dam, the largest in the world. But trees, they do it all with the power of the sun. This living water pump creates a river in the sky above the Amazon,
Real
stretching
quick, give
from
me
the
the one in
ocean.
Sirach. It just came to me. Remember, it says the sun knows its order. The sun and the moon, the ordinances. It's in Sirach. It's in maybe 31. No, Sirach 42, 43. Thank you. Because the sun, the trees, the stars, everything has an order with God. The trees are ordered by God to do photosynthesis. The sun is ordered by God to do its job. Esau is just, he wants to be like God. He has got to figure every little thing out. That's why he tries to recreate things. GMOs. He recreates, messes with the food. He takes parts of animal organisms and injects it in the DNA of fruit so that it peels easier. You got to understand this man that we're dealing with. You got that?
Yes, sir. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 43 and verse 2.
Come on.
The sun, when it appeared, declaring at his rising, a marvelous instrument, the work of the Most High.
And see that? The work of the Most High. Because all of this thing about photosynthesis and 20 billion tons, which is 20 billion times 2,000, that will give you the number of pounds. The Lord is allowing it so much vapor to go into the sky that from space, Esau's like, we got to figure it out. Why there's always clouds over there? They took the time. They got the microscopes out. They figured out formulas. They use all this mathematics, and they were able to determine that. The same way they were able to determine, hey, we can look at a mosquito, look at a fly, and then we can have our vision and create a bug that can go kill somebody. Or a bug or a nano technology that can float in somebody's veins and arteries and heal and kill people. Okay, read on.
At noon it parcheth the country, and who can abide the burning heat thereof? A man blowing a furnace is in the works of heat, but the sun burneth the mountains 3 times more.
Right, now we're gonna segue right into this. Get me the drought thing, because it's amazing. Let's think about how the Most High worked. You've got flooding in parts of the United States that is crazy, historical, never happened before. And then you've got the worst drought in 1,000 years happening in a similar area. Give me that drought. Then we're going to close out about 15 minutes. Okay. Matter of fact, number seven, please. It's actually, if it's easier, go to 8, which is the drought monitor, and then we can jump up to the Smithsonian Magazine, because the flooding that we're going to watch a video about is happening in the western United States, but at the same time, there is a drought that is the worst in 1,200, not 1,000, 1,200 years. Those of y'all who live in California and Idaho and Nevada, y'all have to put your sprinklers on timers, and you can get fined if you use too much water. Okay? Here's a drought map. This is from 2 days ago. So when you look at can you get the map, Legend? Because we want to see the color coded if we can. So, all right. So if we look here, so yellow is abnormally dry. Where we at here? Okay. So, okay. D1 is a moderate drought. D2 is orange, which is a severe drought. D3 is extreme drought, which is a regular red. And the dark maroon color is an exceptional extreme drought, meaning it's the worst. Now scroll down to the map. So anywhere where there's yellow is a drought. And the darker the color gets, it's severe. So look at what's happened in the U.S. And we're going to read the next article. This is the worst now, and this is the way they track it. They track it upon the growth rings of trees. So they're saying this is the worst drought in 1,200 years. And it's a time period of about 22 years that's happening. So my point is, this is happening now. And the Most High is flooding through atmospheric rivers, parts that are in between. It's amazing. So let's go back to, this is why we got to keep these commandments, y'all. And when you slip up, you got to catch yourself. Number, I think the Smithsonian. All right. We can get a reader, Iran, Officer Iran.
The western U.S. is experiencing the worst drought in more than 1,200 years.
Come on.
Human-caused climate change is responsible for 42% of the soil moisture deficit in the last 22 years. A new study finds.
Now, who do you think is doing these studies? It's the so-called white man that's doing these studies. And he's also the ones ruining the earth. Check out Google the Great Dust Bowl, and that's when he really started it. Come on.
The current mega drought in the western United States has broken previous records for the driest 22-year period in the region since the early 800 CE.
Right. So Esau, he got everything figured out. But the point is, it's a very terrible, terrible drought. Now, in the interest of time, scroll down real quick. This we need a visual. This is either Lake Mead. I think it's Lake Mead.
Yes.
Okay, this is last July. I want you to understand that when you look at the buoy systems right there, the watermark, that's not like 10 feet high. That's like, I want to say more than 100 feet. Okay, and that's a major reservoir that feeds a lot of the western United States. We did a show about this. That water line, and here's the thing, that water line has been steadily dropping for the last 22 years. But hold up, this drought is the worst in 1,200 years, but yet you got atmospheric rivers that's flooding everywhere else, parts of it not supposed to be flooded. The Most High is things are out of course in this earth. Esau is jacking this earth up. And you know what? The Most High could send water if he wanted it there. He's doing this. The Most High is allowing this to happen. So just so you can see the level of that, all right?
Cap, that other video that was playing that was explaining it, it was saying that there's so much water that it messes with the magnetic flow of that area.
Right.
Which means Esau could also mess with the magnetic flow of the area, which could cause water to go away from where he needs it to go, and the Most High putting water where he wants it to go.
Exactly. He don't have the mind of the Most High. And, you know, Esau, there's a Chinese guy, a Japanese guy that was on TV talking about, it was a YouTube video, as a matter of fact, talking about they can fire these super, ultra, high-powered lasers into clouds to change the weather pattern movements. Google it. I did that. It was going to bring on the show they want to. Here's my point. Let's look at, there's a tree. If you look, okay, let's look at a clock. So it's about 4 o'clock. 3 is straight 90. Okay, 6 is down. That tree is about, see the tree right there? Let's say that tree might be, I don't know how high that tree is, but looked at in perspective, that's close to us. If you go down further towards the buoys, that's probably 100 or more feet that water level has dropped. And that is recent, okay? So let's get out of this article, and I want to show you the atmospheric rivers, what has happened. Pull up the, there's a YouTube video. It says, why can't, oh gosh, number 6. Why California can't use the floodwaters to end the historic drought crisis. So now we're going to see an example of parts of California are in the extreme fires, which we're not covering that tonight. Parts of it are the worst droughts in 1,200 years. And then you got so much water from these atmospheric rivers that whole towns are being affected. My officer Micah brought that up on the Watchman report. Now we're going to show you a little bit more. Okay, here is the actual footage, and this is this year. Okay, I think the last 2-3 weeks.
Now back to California, where an atmospheric river is continuing to dump heavy rain on the state. Torrential downpours caused flash flooding and mudslides. They closed key highways, toppled trees, and swept away entire roads. California has been suffering also, though, from record drought. So you'd expect the recent rain daily.
This is why we know the Most High is a master. In the same state, They're suffering from record droughts, which we read in the Smithsonian, and we looked at the drought calculated from 2023, January 10th. And we saw the worst drought in 1,200 years. And now this is historic flooding in places where they've never seen it. And some of these neighborhoods are where Ellen DeGeneres and a lot of these famous Hollywood stars, their neighborhoods are flooding, which Most High is not playing. He's showing you he controls everything. Esau's just think he's so smart, he's figuring out everything. And that's why we, at the beginning of the show, we don't want to be ignorant of any small matter or great. That's why we're going into this tonight, all right?
Hey, Cap,
yes,
I
sir.
bet you they believe in the flood of Noah now.
Right. Yes, yes.
They're always trying to disprove it, but the Most High is showing you I can flood anything at any time I feel like it. You think it's hard to flood the earth?
Hey, I bet they ain't worried about them sprinklers coming on. How many people you think actually got flood insurance out there?
That's a good point.
They probably ain't got it.
Hey, could I get one script?
Go ahead.
2nd Esdras 6 and verse 24. Deacon Yashua mentioned in one of his classes, one of his radio shows, that he was saying the earth will fight for us as well in the last days. And you say something, officer. Read that real quick.
2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still.
So the springs of the fountain shall stand still. That's a little bit above my grade, but could that, once again, the springs, could that be talking about, the springs that's not moving where the water should go at,
Right. Well, the springs when you go into history, the Most High flooded the earth from below and above at the same time. Now, that's a great scripture. This is, and he can do that. The Most High can do whatever he wants. What we're seeing is the atmospheric rivers. That's how the Most High is just dumping water where he want to dump. But that's a good scripture. And don't get me wrong, it's probably happened in parts of the earth. I'm not sure about here. Let's go ahead and play the, was there a video I wanted you to get? Yeah, you were playing a video. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked. Go ahead.
Also, though, from record drought. So you'd expect the recent rain deluge to help solve maybe some of at least those persistent problems of dryness. But as Lana Zach explains, that's not happening.
Real quick. Can we get Psalms 82 and 5? That's a highway. We watch it like it's not registering. That's a canoe on a highway in California. Cap brought it out. It was just flooding. Could you read that real quick?
The book of Psalms, chapter 82 and verse 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness.
Read.
All the fountains of the earth are out of course.
That's out of course. He canoeing in the middle of the street. Probably 2 days ago, he was out there at a water hose. Like, I got to water the grass. It's getting bad. My grass dying. And now he on a canoe in the middle of the street.
And like you said, and I would be interested to know, a lot of these towns, they're probably not even required to have flood insurance. So now how do you deal with that? They never had flood insurance. They weren't required to. Now this water, this is not the highest it went. This is after they're getting the cameras in, okay? The waters, and many of these waters wash these houses out, so that a lot of them will be a total loss, or at least a major partial loss. So to your point, is the Most High using these rivers in the sky to dump water where he chooses. So we mentioned before about the largest river on earth is not the Amazon. It's in the sky. And the Most High showing you that whole towns is being flooded. Now remember, the Amazon River might be, let's say, 100 feet wide. This is flooding. This is so much water. It's flooding whole towns, not a river. Like the Mississippi River has a certain boundary of width. Look at, this is not just this one street. It's going all the way. That's how much water is dumping in these towns. And the Lord is doing this. And
you could tell they unprepared because their sewage system couldn't facilitate all of the water that was coming in.
Right.
Places like down here, they got sewage systems where it's like, all right, we're going to pump this water out because we're used to it. They're not used to that. They've never had that kind of stuff happen before.
That's why, and this is why the host mentioned, well, why can't some of this rainwater help with the droughts? He's going to continue. He's going to tell you why. Play on.
problems of dryness. But as Lana Zach explains, that's not happening.
Well, the biggest issue comes down to just how dire conditions were in California before this storm. The land was just too damaged by wildfires and sustained droughts to actually take in all this new water. Let's start there. It has been the state's driest 3-year period in history. Key reservoirs are down below 50%, as you can see, and over half of all state wells are also measuring below normal levels, according to California's Department of Water Resources. Under normal conditions, snowpacks melt in the spring, refilling these reservoirs and aquifers. But in this case, plenty of snow has, in fact, fallen. But the system for absorbing water has become so parched that the land can't take it all in. Think of it as a houseplant that you've neglected for 3 months. You can't bring it back to life with a hose. So people are wondering why officials can't store these floodwaters to try and help out with the drought. There's 3 reasons for that. First, a lot of this rain ends up back in the ocean. Second, it's really falling too quickly to be stored and reallocated to these key reservoirs. And third, as you've likely seen, rainwater is just not drinkable without undergoing treatment. When it comes to standing water from floods, the cross-contamination is extensive. So anything ending up in the water supply really requires substantial cleaning. John?
Lana Zach.
You got chemtrails, you got chemicals that you spraying in the water, aerosol, all of that stuff getting mixed in. And they're lucky. They were really lucky because this is California. California got a lot of emissions restrictions, which is good. Imagine if this was acid rain. Imagine if that was chemically filtrated rain that just came pouring down. It's just sitting there. It would dissolve damn near everything in that state. The houses, the cars, everything.
California that's why a lot of brothers don't want to do business and drive their trucks because they're so regulated with emissions. But this is just to show everybody what the Most High can do whatever he wants. In 1,200 years, it's the worst drought in the history of the United States. This is historic flooding in places it's never been. We're just showing we have to be understanding that we're living in the last days. And this is why we showed the disparity. We started first with drone warfare, how Esau, so-called white man, is using nanotechnology. Officer Iran brought out they call them what type of drones they were? The swarm switchblade drones that have the capacity to fly up to 25 miles and destroy their targets while waiting and hovering above. They have drones the size of mosquitoes that are able to infiltrate and destroy their enemies. So these things are going on right now as we speak in 2022. They've been going on a lot longer. So as Israelites, we have to understand that we have to pay attention to what's going on around us and not ignore it. Okay, at the end of the day, the Most High. Give me Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. We're going to close out. Unless you brothers want to bring something out, we got a couple on. Please feel free to bring stuff out. I want to read Proverbs 3, and then I'm done. Yes.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart.
Because Esau trusts in his science. He trusts in his research. He trusts in his statistics. He trusts in his technology. Okay? We are to be aware of it and not be ignorant of it, but we are to trust in the Most High. Read on.
And lean not unto thine own understanding.
Because if we lean to our own understanding, remember in the book of Ecclesiastes 12 and 12, it says, of making of many books there is no end, right? We can get bugged out in chemistry, anatomy, all these different scientists, rocket science, algebra, geometry, trigonometry, calculus. That's how Esau gets all these scientific and mathematical formulas to do things that he does. We're not supposed to worry about that. Read on.
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not to thine own understanding.
Read on.
In all thy ways acknowledge him.
So we're not going to be ignorant of what's going on around us, but we're going to acknowledge the Most High. We're going to put our trust in the Most High. The atmospheric rivers, Esau figured it out. Okay, we know it's the Most High doing that. Okay, when you see all these things, the technology, we know the Lord gave Esau that ability to go to war, and his gift was war. We know that. Read on.
And he shall direct thy path.
And guess what? We're going to keep these commandments, and we're going to know how to move. Even in these last days, we're going to know how to move. That means we got to work together, Israel. We got to work together. Read on.
Be not wise in thy own eyes.
Right. Don't be wise in your own eyes. Read on.
Fear the Lord and depart from evil.
And that's the key. That's the whole mission of these radio shows, is to reach out to our people and to teach them to depart from evil. All right. That's why we have shows like this. All right. It's not the most exciting show, but it's something that we have to be aware of. Okay. We have to be aware of what we talked about tonight. Now, brothers, anything else? We got a couple more minutes. Anything y'all brothers want to bring out? Bring it out. Bring it out.
You know, the Colorado River also, I'm surprised we ain't had that, but that's drying up as well. And when you look in the data on that, it supports over 40 million people. And they're concerning, you know, okay, where are we going to get our power from? Because they run a lot of electricity off of dams up there. They run a lot of electricity off of dams, but you got to think about it. It's all, you know, just stirring the pot for more chaos to break out in due time. So, you know, that's just something to keep in mind. Where these people going to go? What's going to happen in that town when they don't have electricity? People start rioting, looting, etc. It's just the Lord just stirring it all up. That's all you're doing.
Israel, with that being said, make sure you're preparing your houses. Make sure you're doing the things you need. Make sure you're storing the things that you need to be successful and to be safe. So just leave it with that.
All praise to the Most High. So look, we're going to transition now. The format of the last segment we're going to do is, I ain't going to hold back. So look, so the last section of the show is called the lard back attack. What is that talking about? Lard is a synonym for fat. We got two fat brothers in the room right now. You brothers offended? Nah, they look at me, shaking their head. Because they got some Wendy's cold cheeseburgers waiting in the car. Here's the thing. So those of you who know me, I really have been on the last 3 years in particular, on the health tip. So look, you brothers that I got a video. Is it too late to send a video? I got to send a video. Don't be this guy. I got a Deacon Asa send this to me, man. Laugh my ass off. No, it's not Deacon Asa. Somebody else send this to me, not Deacon Asa. I'm going to send it to you real quick. Give me the scripture, Sirach chapter 31, last verse. One of my favorites. I'm going to send this to you. Hey, don't be this guy. Y'all don't be this guy. I just sent it to you. I don't think we need a disclaimer.
The book of Sirach, chapter 31 and verse 31.
Come on.
Rebuke not thy neighbor.
No. 30 verse, last verse. My apologies.
Excuse me. The book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 25. A cheerful and good heart will have care of his meat and diet.
A cheerful, read it again.
A cheerful and good heart.
A cheerful and a good heart, read on.
Will have a care of his meat and diet.
Now, we're going to show a clip. Did we get it? Gay, don't get mad. The fat guy right now is under control. He's obese. Ace is just overweight, right? They're not offended. Look, don't be like this guy. A lot of you brothers in the purple or gold, some of you brothers, man, you're lard backs. Okay, you need to lose the weight. Okay, lose the weight, brothers. You can do it. All right, we're gonna show you. Don't be this guy. Oh, we can't get it. Damn, man, come on, man. How is it a private video? Damn. How could I pull it? Oh, the owner. Oh, okay. If the owner, okay, it wasn't private before. Type in. Hey, I got to play this. Listen. Going forward, the show is going to be a little bit, we're going to have a lard back attack, nice streamline, but tonight I just, hey, you brothers need to lose the weight. All you brothers that are 50, 60, 70 pounds, 1 meal a day, you can eat healthy keto and you will lose the weight. You don't need to eat 3-4 times a day and stop drinking so much damn soda and sugary goods. Okay? Can we get that? Read the scripture again, Officer Iran.
Sirach chapter 30, verse 25. A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
If you are 100 pounds overweight, you ain't had a care for your diet in years. Okay? Stop eating so much damn carbs, you lard ass. Okay, and look, and by the way, right? You need to be talked about and lose the weight. And I'm just talking in general because we all need to do better. If I was a big fat Lord, you better get on me and tell me to lose the weight. And this love. This is Lord love. All right. So hold up. We're going to end the show on this note. So if you have a cheerful heart, you have a care of your meat. And thank the Lord that this is not an Israelite, right? We're going to watch something that is going to be hard. I think it's hilarious. And I don't wish no hurt on nobody, but this can happen when you become a lardback. Let's go ahead and wait, read the clip he read. Read the clip. Can you read that?
Fat man rolls down the steps. Bears versus Eagle game like Willie's Pub.
So look, hey, if you offend, listen, brothers who are overweight or obese or morbidly obese, why don't you just lose the damn weight, okay? Or you're going to get joked on, okay? All right? Because it's not natural for y'all, us, and I ain't saying nothing about the sisters, but you say one thing about a sister, then she just freaking starts, yeah. We talking about the brothers now. Play the video. Yo, you stop. Do you realize that everyone stopped watching the game? And they all looked at him. Even Gabe's not that fat. Gabe's in the room, by the way. Get me Sirach 31. Let's play. Can we play that again? Did we get any hits for that one? You know why people didn't help the guy up? Because they say he's so damn fat. He's fine. He didn't break no bones. He might have a bruised gut. Hold up. Hold up. We gotta laugh. And listen, the message is: if you're overweight, you're obese, or you're morbidly obese, we can help you. You can lose the weight. And it's not natural for you brothers to be like that. It's not natural. And you can do it, all right? We make light, we joke, and the whole section is because we do not want you to have heart attacks and strokes. And obese people have a much, much, much higher chance of getting diabetes 2, pre-diabetes, diabetes 2, a stroke, or heart attack. The number one killer of black men in America is heart disease, okay? And we've got to be serious about fixing our diet. And that's why I am not going to stop. When you brothers see me in person, I am going to get at you. Why? Because we want you to be the healthiest you can be, all right? And so play the video one more time. We're almost done, y'all. The fat dude, the fat guy behind the camera, the fat one's messing it up.
He offended.
Oh, good.
He offended.
Stop it! Cut it
out. It looks like a white Gabe.
I have a glandular problem.
That'll be $60.
Cut it out! I'm just trying to live my life. No one taught me about carbs.
Hold up. Okay. Get me, oh gosh, hold up. Give me Sirach 31:16. You want to know why when that fat dude fell down the steps, you want to know why no one even helped the guy up. You want to know why? Because fat people are the butt of all jokes. Like Gabe's in the room right now. He looking real serious. Gabe looked like 2 yellow jackets stung him in his face and it just swelled up. He's only 20-something years old. So we equally distribute fat jokes, okay? And we don't feel bad, right?
The book of Sirach, chapter 31 and verse 16.
Watch this, read.
Eat as becometh a man.
So we supposed to eat as it becomes, and we were joking, but now we back to the scriptures. And this is serious. Read it again.
Eat as becometh a man.
Eat as it becometh a man. Read on.
Those things which are set before thee.
Whatever's set before you, you control or you have your wife control. So if you go into Arby's and ordering the 2 for $5, then you go to Burger King and get their 2 for $5, and then go back to Dairy Queen to get the 3 for $7, which they give you the Sunday for the $7 meal, and you've done that in one night, you have eaten it as a fat man. Read it again.
Eat as becometh a man.
Come on.
Those things which are set before thee.
You got to control what you order at a restaurant. You got to control what your wife puts. You got to control what you order. Read on.
And devour not.
And don't be a damn pig like that lard ass that fell down the steps. He probably never got control of his diet. That's why he's 400 pounds. Okay, read on.
Lest thou be hated.
And that's why nobody, everyone, ooh, and then when they saw he's a big fat, no one even helped the guy up. Let that have been a pretty woman or a guy that's been shit. Everyone was, oh, God, call the ambulance. That's just a fat lard ass. Hey, play the video again. And we're going to close out after this. It's late. We just have a little fun. At the end of the day, those of you who know me, I truly want to help every brother that wants to get healthy and get in shape. I personally will help you. And we have a volunteer program set up to help brothers. And we've had a lot of brothers had success stories who have graduated from being disgusting fat lard asses, and now they're recovered. Okay? Play it again. Oh! Stop! Not! Hey, the guys at the top of the steps, they started to run to help him. He stops. He said, wait a minute. He stopped right there. Why did he keep walking down to help him out? Because I'm telling you, people don't like lard asses. Why didn't everyone run to help him? He just fell down about 17 cement steps.
Damn.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's like.
All right. What's that, Gabe? Gabe said, play it again. All right. Stop! The dude in the blue with the beanie on, like he was run down to help. He stopped, looked at him, and he turned his body. Nobody, not one of them women, not the dude right next to him. The dude felt, everybody just stopped and looked at this dude.
Did you see how his body like folded and flipped? It was like slime.
Hey, disclaimer, we don't wish, I hope this man was not hurt. It just shows you that, the one thing that he has an advantage is the fat did break his fall. But look, we don't need Israelites to look like this. And some of you, if the shoe fits, it's a very fat shoe. Look, stop being a lard ass. Lose the weight. What? One more time. Play it again. We gonna close out. Paul, stop. But as he's getting up, right? Look at the people's feet. Yo, can you? Wait. So anyways, that being said, look. Hey, Israel, look. I want to provoke all you brothers to good works. You brothers that want to get healthy, who might look like this or know someone who looks like this, we as Israelites, we got to do better. We can do better. And this guy, all jokes aside, if we look like this, we are at a higher risk for disease, heart attacks, strokes, diabetes, and you can do something about it. If you were born blind, unless you get healed, if you were born with autism, if you were born deaf, those folks, they don't have a choice. Being fat is a choice. You can overcome it. There's support systems. You can overcome. We've had brothers lose 130 pounds, 100 pounds. And look, it's all, we do make fun, and it is fun to make fun of fat people, okay? And I'm guilty of that, all right? But You can lose the weight. We're here to help. So next week, I'll be back with the lard back attack. We have a nice transition. We'll probably have a little bit more amusing content. All right. All praise to the Most High. Look, Gabe's back there. He's all mad. All praises.
Give alms. Give alms at your local school. Drop an envelope in the alms box. To give alms online via PayPal. IUIC.NewOrleans@IsraelUnite.org. If you guys want to continue to see shows like this, if you guys want to continue to see us upgrade with equipment and bring you more content, give alms. To give alms to the Booster Club via PayPal is IUIC.fundraising@IsraelUnite.org. Once again, you want to continue to see the prophets traveling around. You want to get up out this captivity, give alms. This is going to help continue to push the prophets and to travel and to go wake up the 12 tribes.
All praise to the Most High. We get ready to roll out. Next week we'll be back. Lord's will, life lasts with the same new segment. We'll have our transitions and everything set to go. Thanks for hanging with us. We got a dedicated few that watch us on a regular basis. Help us push 20,000 subscriptions, subscribe, share, bell notifications, all that. It's late, y'all. Precept upon precept. But with that, we say
Shalom.
Shalom.